Sorry. With nothing.
Good morning, Professor Shukla. Welcome.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Before we start the program, let me introduce you to Dr. Dwivedi, and likewise, Dr. Dwivedi is the CEO of SEEDS, and she is the guest of honor. Professor Shukla is, of course, the director of NIT Jamshedpur, and he is the chief guest today. Thanks to both of you. We'll just wait for a few minutes. Others are joining in. So
no problem, no problem, no problem. Okay.
Hi, good morning, Shubha.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, and Shubha, how are you doing? Your sound seems to be muted. Shubha, your sound is muted.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Everything is fine. And I think your presentation. There will. I hope that the presentation sharing will not be an issue for you. Okay. So this is quite simple. So we're going to start soon. Okay.
Professor Shukla, you will be making a presentation or it will be oral?
I made some PPT.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
You can upload it yourself, or would you like us to upload it?
No, we can do it. I have the technical person with me. I am a non-technical person.
No, that's not an issue. That's I don't think that should be an issue at all.
No,
whichever
we can do it. Actually, the reason was that when you have eye-to-eye contact in delivering the lecture, then you may need not any PPT. But when you are saying online, then definitely. So to avoid any mal-communication, there should be something. Yes. That's what I thought. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
This is curtain raiser ceremony, IISF. This is just to promote the program, that International Science Festival, and this time it is going to be held there online. So we are expecting a lot of participations from various places. And yesterday I logged into the site and joined in one of the event, Women Entrepreneurship. Shubha, this is for your information. If you are interested, you can join too there. I did join in the section of Women Entrepreneurship.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Shashwati, are you ready? Shashwati, are you there?
Yes, I'm there, ma'am. Thank you.
Just
good morning.
See. Sir, shall we start the program now?
Yes, we can start. Others can join as and when, but we can start the program.
Yeah, because we are connected to Facebook and YouTube. So we are expecting participants through the Facebook and YouTube, which we may not be able to see. But I think perhaps we can start right now. Shashwati, we can start.
Okay. Good morning, all of you. I would like to welcome you all to the curtain raiser ceremony of IISF 2020. The objective of this event is to generate awareness among the scientific community and society The theme of IISF 2020, it's Science for Self-Reliant India and Global Welfare, which is expected to deliberate on the role of science, technology, and innovation to build an Aatmanirbhar Bharat and also provide solutions to global problems. Several curtain raiser events are being organized for generating awareness about the sixth India International Science Festival, which is this one, to be held virtually this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We have two eminent personalities with us, Mrs. Shubhra Dwivedi as our guest of honor and Professor K.K. Shukla as the chief guest of our ceremony today. A very warm welcome to you both. I would like to inaugurate our program by our traditional auspicious lamp lighting ceremony as a tribute to Ma Saraswati, goddess of knowledge. May I please request to turn on the video for the same. Thank you.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणं आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपो हरतु मे पापं सन्ध्यादीपनमोऽस्तुते ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं ज्योतिषां प्रभुरव्ययः ओ दीपब्रह्मरूपस्त्वं ज्योतिषां प्रभुरव्ययः आरोग्यं देहि पुत्रांश स्वच्छामि मे सदा वीर्यस्तं समारभ्य यावत्सूर्योदयो भवेत् वीर्यस्तं समारभ्य यावत्सूर्योदयो भवेत् यस्य दृष्टिर् गृहे दीपः तस्य नास्ति दरिद्रता शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
I would now request Dr. Indranil Chottoraj, Director, CSIR-National Metallurgical Laboratory, to kindly deliver the welcome address to all of us today for IISF 2020. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Saraswati. A very good morning and welcome, Professor Shukla, Dr. Dwivedi, Dr. Meeta Tarafdar, my colleagues from NML, and all the participants to this online curtain raiser function of IISF, which is being organized by our laboratory, the National Metallurgical Laboratory. As you may be aware, the IISF is an annual event organized jointly by the Science and Technology Ministries and departments of the Government of India and Vijayan Bharati, also known as VIBHA, which is a non-profit organization interested in popularizing science, especially indigenous scientific developments. IISF is a festival to celebrate the achievements of India's scientific and technological advancements with students, with innovators, artisans, farmers, scientists, and technocrats from India and abroad. The first and the second IISF were held in New Delhi, the third in Chennai, the fourth in Lucknow, the fifth IISF was held in Kolkata. The sixth IISF will be held on an online platform and will be spearheaded by our parent organization, which is the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, with support from all the concerned ministries and departments. As a lead-up to this event, like every year, curtain raisers are being held across the country in the laboratories and institutes of the concerned ministries. There is, of course, a small difference. Just like the main program, all curtain raisers are online. And this year, we are organizing the curtain raiser at NML in the august presence of Professor K.K. Shukla, Director, NIT Jamshedpur, and Dr. Shubhra Dwivedi, CEO of SEEDS, an NGO which has done exceptional work in socio-economic and educational development of the underprivileged. I convey my gratitude as well as the gratitude of my institute to Professor Shukla for agreeing to be the chief guest and to Dr. Dwivedi for accepting the role of guest of honor for this function. The Honorable Minister for Science and Technology, Earth Sciences, Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Harshvardhan, while announcing this year's program, can we have the mics switched off, please? May I request others to kindly switch off their mics? It's a lot of echo. Thank you. As I was saying, the Honorable Minister for Science and Technology, Earth Sciences, and Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Harshvardhan, while announcing this year's program, said that besides promoting love and passion for science among young people and students, by bringing science outside the labs, IISF 2020 must also reflect on the role of Indian scientists and the S&T innovations, not just for not just I'll start again. The Honorable Minister for Science and Technology, Earth Sciences and Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Harshvardhan, has insisted that scientific innovations should be not only for Aatmanirbhar Bharat, but also for global welfare. It is time to make the world see the role of Indian scientists in addressing global challenges and people's welfare. It is therefore most fortunate for us that we have as our chief guest a person who has devoted his entire career popularizing science to young minds and to inculcating scientific temper. We are also equally fortunate in having as our guest of honor one who has often used scientific means promotion of social welfare of the masses. We are in very trying times. Never before has the importance of science and innovation been more appreciated. We not only need new medical innovations to deal with the pandemic, we also need scientific adaptations for overcoming economic, social, and cultural issues that the new normal have necessitated. In such a scenario, IISF becomes a very relevant and motivating function and exposition. I invite all of you to visit the IISF from 22nd to 25th December online. I welcome you once again to this curtain raiser program. Thank you very much. Over to you, Saraswati.
Thank you very much, sir. As we move on, we have prepared a short video demonstrating how CSIR-NML has contributed considerably for the cause of society in the past, and it's continuing to do so. Just to name a few, we have conducted several skill development programs, both for students and people from rural areas, Jigyasa program for the students, training programs on waste management, women literacy drive, and the list goes on. A picture speaks 1,000 words, indeed, and hence, without taking any more time in explaining what we have done, here is the video, and I would like to request the video to be turned on right now. Thank you.
Science is important for the development of the society. Technology intervention is needed to develop the society. The CSIR Jigyasa program, a total 1,637 students and 103 teachers from 35 schools have visited the laboratory during 2018 to 2020. The aim of this program is to promote scientific temperament through student-scientist interaction. Electroplating Training Program. CSIR-NML conducted a technical need assessment study and awareness training program on zinc and nickel plating activities for small machine parts and the possible R&D intervention as well as training needs. During the training program, the workers were given training on how to adapt proper cleaning method for better quality product and were instructed to use proper safety equipments like gloves, eye protection goggles. They also been aware that cyanide-based electrolyte should be replaced by acid or alkaline zinc electrolyte. Waste utilization. From years, CSIR-NML has been working on various waste utilization such as metal extraction and recycling of various ferrous and non-ferrous metals as well as extraction from various industrial waste. Other waste utilizations are development and transfer of process on red muds, extraction of rare earth metal from e-waste, cobalt extraction from lithium-ion battery, gold extraction from PCB board, recovery of vanadium from spent sulfuric acid catalysts. Energy efficient furnace. India is the largest brass making country in the world. This art has been practiced in India for over 5 million years. However, the artisans who are making these products manually face many economic as well as technological challenges. Inadequate infrastructure of home-based manufacturing units, labor-intensive manufacturing process, energy inefficient clay furnaces, zinc vapor contaminated work environment, etc. are some of the issues that require attention for remediation. CSIR-NML has developed energy efficient coke-based brass and bell metal melting furnace addressing the drawbacks of traditional furnace. The developed energy efficient furnace has several advantages. Reduction in energy consumption by 30%, increased productivity by 30%, less pollution, less effect of zinc vapor on human body. Women Literacy Program. CSIR-NML in association with Central Board for Workers Association, Ministry of Labour and Employment, Government of India organized a 3-month literacy program for illiterate or semi-literate women staff of the laboratory. These women staff were in contractual as well as permanent position in the laboratory as multitasking staff, janitorial staff, and office peons. The women scientists, technical officers, and other S&T staff took on the responsibility of tutors for the program. After 3 months of continued teaching, the students appeared for the exam and those who could clear exam received certificates as well. CSIR Integrated Skill Initiative. Under the CSIR Integrated Skill Initiative, CSIR-National Metallurgical Laboratory has organized several training programs with the aim to improve the employability and to motivate the youth to become an entrepreneur. Under the Societal Skill Training Mission, main focus is to develop skills in the area of metals, metallurgy, manufacturing, waste utilization, soft skills, and entrepreneurship development. Few significant trainings are manual metal arc welding and gas cutting training. CSIR-NML has given training on manual metal arc welding and gas cutting. This program is aimed to training candidates for the job of a MMAW welder in the capital's good sector or industries and aims at building the following keys competency among
I believe there is a small issue with the video being played.
I think she is muted. Ask her to unmute herself.
Could you please, Aniket, could you please unmute the video? Thank you. Aniket? Sangeeta? I think the video is unmuted by mistake.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sector and promoted environment-friendly e-waste disposal by imparting adequate knowledge of handling e-waste and their hazardous effect. Under the aegis of CSIR Animal Jamshedpur, approximately 600 participants attended the training program. Title of the training program organized are EDP on e-waste collection and deconstruction, industrial training on materials and metallurgical engineering, in plant training on deconstruction and upcycling of e-waste, EDP on innovative product prototyping for MSME, industrial training on materials and metallurgical engineering, fitter training, turner training, management development program on export marketing of metal craft, awareness program with National Academy of Science India and SEEDS, National Academy of Sciences India, Jharkhand chapter, SEEDS, and CSIR Animal Joint organized awareness and skill development for rural.
Thank you very much. I believe we are done with the video. Is that right, Sangeeta? Aniket?
Yes, Shashwati, the video is over.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I would definitely like to say a big thanks to the team who actually made the video, because they did in a very short time and they did a wonderful job on that. Thanks again. As we move on with our program, I would like to introduce you to all of you, the guest of honor today, Mrs. Shubhra Dwivedi. Looking into her academic qualifications, Mrs. Shubhra Dwivedi did an MPhil, PhD and postdoctoral studies in regional development from JNU, that is Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. She was the head of a reputed registered civil society organization, SEEDS, which you already heard little about, for over 2 decades. The Socio-Economic and Education Development Society, SEEDS, in Jamshedpur needs no introduction. It is perhaps the only NGO which is into implementing and resourcing projects. The NGO's path-breaking work in the field of health and education in Musabani block has made it a front-runner in social service. Set up in 1995 by people with a burning desire for better society, SEEDS aims at a world where everyone has equal opportunities. Its mission was to help people at the grassroots by empowering them with education and good health. SEEDS is financially supported by various international development agencies like Indo-German Social Services and most India in association with USAID. The organization is also into capacity building, formation of self-help groups, and income generation techniques for poor people. Both proper qualification and desire to serve the people is a must. That is what Mrs. Dwivedi does always believe in. She is a recipient of several awards, just to name a few: the Paul Harris Fellow of Rotary International, Rotary Vocational Excellence Award from Jamshedpur area, and International Health Leadership Fellow of Packard Foundation and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Without taking any more time, I would now request Mrs. Dwivedi to kindly deliver her speech. Thank you, ma'am. Please unmute your video. Yes.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yes, you are. Thank you.
On the occasion of today's program, a curtain raiser of the Mega India International Science Festival being organized by the CSIR-National Metallurgical Laboratory, Jamshedpur, I extend warm greetings to the chief guest, Dr. K.K. Shukla, the transformational leader, director of NIT, Jamshedpur, To Dr. Indranil Chattoraj, the very dynamic and humane director of NML Jamshedpur, to distinguished scientists, ladies, gentlemen, and children who are viewing this program. Just a moment. Ashwati, was I audible? You could.
Yes, you are audible, ma'am. Yes, everything is great. Yeah.
Yes.
I think you can put it on the screen. You can put it on the larger screen, your presentation.
Yeah. In the next about 30 minutes, I would be dwelling upon the theme Science for Aatmanirbhar Bharat and Samaveshi Vikas. Having worked for nearly 2.5 decades for inclusive development, I would be trying to link it with the numerous interventions made by SEEDS at the grassroots in rural Jharkhand. We all know that youth, that is the 15 to 24 years age group, comprise nearly 35% of our population. And over 2/3 of the country's population and 70% of its workforce resides in villages. Hence, no program can achieve its objectives and target if it does not put rural India and the country's youth at the center of its planning and interventions. For the past nearly 10 months, mankind seems to be helpless in the wake of COVID-19. In the midst of trials and tribulations, India is forging ahead in all spheres. COVID-19 has brought into the country a clarion call for everyone to rebuild, recover, and reimagine themselves in order to achieve Aatmanirbhar Bharat. In our endeavor to attain self-reliance, we cannot work in isolation, but have to integrate with the national global supply chain. The hopes of the country lies in the youth power, which needs to be harnessed with a backup of technology and trust. It is here that we need to reiterate the connect between science, technology, and society. A rather grand global vision has also a practical local challenge with many fronts, from communities in which people face a lack of essential resources as water, nutrition, education, and power, to those that are embedded in the economic infrastructure of excess consumption, pollution, and waste. People around the world are confronting the need to make positive social, economic, and environmental changes. The Make in India initiative is not only about assembling products, but inventing in India as well. During and also the post-COVID-19, countries of the world are already looking and would be looking for an alternative destination to China for obvious reasons. And India has emerged as a viable alternative for which India needs to build proper logistics and adequate infrastructure to ease the process of doing business and build a favorable climate for foreign investments. The implications of the technological basis of modern society have permeated the entire planet. A basic understanding of science and technology is essential to understanding human and environmental challenges around the world. But on the other hand, it is a reality that nearly 80% of our people, and including the relatively affluent adult population, are effectively scientifically illiterate. Towards empowering a sustainable nation, the use and maintenance of appropriate technologies such as solar lighting, cooking, or biogas digesters requires a basic understanding of the technology by users. Construction, diffusion, And adaptation of these tools to surrounding communities requires an even deeper level of understanding by the relevant engineering and science by local people. Beyond science, literacy capacity building is a collaborative, pedagogical, and organizational approach that rests on and expands the existing human capacity within a community to analyze both local and global problems and to devise, assess, and implement appropriate sustainable solutions to interconnected challenges. So, transcending the conceptual borders between classroom and community, capacity building can be seen more broadly to embrace the full continuum of educative efforts and experience. Thus, it is imperative that science and science education focus on the societal demands and needs when possible. This includes the stress on the social context of application, the utilization of old as well as of new technologies to suit needs, and more emphasis on sustainable lifestyles that are sympathetic to the environment. Science in isolation or society in isolation are unimaginable. Both are inseparable and thus walk hand in hand. Science shapes the society through technological advancement and growth as it goes along with the development of the society. While on the other hand, society shapes science according to the demands of the society. The common perception that science is only for the high and the intelligent does not hold true. Science is the greatest collective endeavor. In other words, it is one of the most important channels of knowledge. It has a specific role as well as a variety of functions for the benefit of our society, creating new knowledge, improving education, and improving the quality of our lives. Science is involved in breathing, cooking, eating, driving, playing, etc. The fabric we wear, the brush and paste we use, the oil we apply, everything is the consequence of advancement of science. So life is unimaginable without all this, as it has become a necessity. Now, working in rural area for the past nearly 2.5 decades, we at SEEDS have tried to connect science and people in several ways. Why is this exposure and understanding of science important among our children in the villages? Here I would like to mention about the childhood experience of a poor village boy, about his life-changing incident. Little Ramesh can never forget Headmaster Bhave, who was also his physics teacher. One day in the science period, he took the children out to an open area. He focused the rays of the sun through a lens to a sharp point on paper till it started burning. This was unbelievable and a very exciting moment for the children. Bhave then told his students, if you have focus, you can achieve anything. Little Ramesh took away 2 lessons from it. One was focus, and the other was the power of science. He was determined to pursue science for a lifetime. Now, some of you perhaps may have already guessed, this poor little village boy is now a Padma Vibhushan awardee, the former Director General of CSIR, Dr. Raghunath Anand Mashelkar. I had the good fortune of listening to this inspiring incident that was narrated by none other than Dr. Mashelkar himself when he visited XLRI Jamshedpur about 2 decades ago. You can see the photograph there. It is of one of our villages, and you can see how intently the children are just waiting, for the paper to light up. So this is almost like a household experiment in our villages. Now, coming to the local scenario, there is a general lack of core scientific competencies, which is a fundamental challenge for sustainable development. In the nearly 680 villages and hamlets where SEEDS has a presence, we have toiled hard to bring about a transformation at the level of children's education, skill development of youth, especially women, and livelihood promotion. The journey of a poor village boy becoming an accomplished scientist and a visionary is very impactful. SEEDS introduced this in 70 of its Gyan Talma or learning centers, having nearly 1,400 school dropout adolescent girls and boys in 70 of our villages in the Saraikela Kharsoma district. The outcome of this single experiment and few other ones was reflected in the generation of a new interest in science and the emergence of a spirit of inquiry among the marginalized children. We have seen in our village schools that as long as science, be it physics, chemistry, biology, environment, as long as it remains inside the books only, it is a burden for these first generation school children because they cannot comprehend. But as soon as it comes out of the books in the form of practical experiments, children just love it. For learning by doing becomes etched in their minds for life. Here, the teacher has a crucial role in generating interest and understanding among children. It is always a pleasure to see the excitement of girls and boys in the numerous knowledge fairs, science fairs that are organized by SEEDS in the villages. You can see the glimpses of a science fair and you can see the enthusiasm of the children. And it's not only children who come to these fairs, the local community to throng the stalls, one, to proudly witness the village children explaining the intricacies of everyday science through interesting models, and second, to learn, for age is never a barrier for gaining knowledge and learning. In our model villages, we have literally brought science out on the streets. You can see the walls painted with science lessons, and this has proved useful not only for the students, but the adults also, who despite having studied these subjects, were not very clear about it till at this point. So this has proved very useful. Now, interactive hands-on learning, problem-driven inquiry, and cooperative problem solving are not only implicit in capacity building approaches, but are also fundamental to many modern efforts to reform science pedagogy. Transcending the conceptual boundaries between community and classroom, capacity building and pedagogical reform can be seen to form a continuum. We are aware that both national and international science education bodies have called for a greater classroom exploration of the connections between science and society. Shifting the organization of student entry into a scientific domain from traditional, abstract, concept-based sequences to more integrative approaches motivated by real-world world scenarios has to come about effectively. SEEDS as a non-profit organization, amongst many other interventions, focuses on promoting the understanding and appreciation of science and the vital role it plays in human advancement to inform, educate, and inspire. Working in this direction, SEEDS has collaborated with Pune-based Educational Activity Research Center, Gyan Prabodhini. They spread the joy of education by providing exposure to the fascinating world of science and technology. Their mission is conducting science-based workshops involving hands-on activities for school students of middle grades in remote areas of 8 developmentally challenged and conflict-ridden states. These are Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Chhattisgarh, Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, Jharkhand, Nagaland, Odisha, and Sikkim. Their flagship program, Gyana Setu, involves volunteers mostly from the urban, educated, and privileged background, mostly UPSC and MPSC, Maharashtra, aspirants, who use science-based education as a medium. Although school-level mass education has reached a huge level through Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, science education needs quality improvement involving hands-on activities. SEEDS is a regional resource center in Jharkhand, and in the last 4 years, we have facilitated 30 workshops covering over 2,500 marginalized students studying in government schools located in very remote areas. You can see on the screen 2 of the workshops with the Gyana Prabodhini.
Madam, sorry to interrupt, but your screen is not moving actually. We cannot see the complete slides.
Okay.
We can see just one slide which is on the front page, but then we cannot see, if you are going through the slides, we cannot see it moving actually.
No, okay, just a moment. Can you see this hands-on science activities, 2 slides?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, another intervention of SEEDS includes the evening school in Lower Hatu village, which has 40 Ho tribal children who are dropouts or they were totally irregular in school. The center has been provided with 11 iPads for smart learning. This has largely helped in strengthening the quality of teaching learning, which is facilitated by 3 trained local tribal teachers by creating visual media for instruction with the help of apps. You can just see how these little children are so engrossed in what they are doing. And this has helped them to go to school more regularly. Though, of course, they always prefer coming to the center because it is a lot more interesting. Now, we are trying to address sustainable and appropriate scientific and technological means of empowering individual households and communities to improve their quality of living. It spans from environmental health, clean energy, low-cost water quality, indigenous water purification methods, enterprise development, and human capacity building. Here I would like to mention about some of our humble efforts which have improved the lives of our indigenous communities living far away from the mainstream society. SEEDS works in 30 villages located inside the Saranda Forest, the largest sal tree forest in Asia, extending to 820 square kilometers in the West Singhbum district of Jharkhand. We have here 40 semi-literate, illiterate, middle-aged Ho tribal women functioning as barefoot solar engineers. They have undergone intensive 6 months training at Barefoot College, Rajasthan. They assemble the circuits, the solar lights, and you can see the solar lanterns. You can see them at work over there. And now most of them do not even know Hindi. And when they had gone for their training in Rajasthan, there were women from about 45 countries. None of them knew English or Hindi, but they are very skilled solar engineers. And this is the training which we are having at the Seeds Resource Center at Mamar village in the Saranda region. These women have installed solar units which comprises of 4 lights, solar panels and battery charger in 750 off-grid households in 15 forest villages which are nearly inaccessible. And that explains why there is no electric power over there. These solar mamas, as they are called, they oversee the maintenance and upkeep of these units. And life has undergone a total change in these households which have got these lights. And now they have life after sunset. Children have started studying at home. Women no longer grope in the dark while cooking or doing other household works in the evenings and night. And cases of snake bites have also reduced. Seeds also conducts literacy classes for women. One such project supported by the Tata Trust covering over 2,200 women in 60 villages has ended in the year 2018. However, the project is self-sustaining for the last 2 years in half of these villages due to the initiative of the new literate women who are keen to learn more and more. You can see an example of this in this slide. So here I would like to show you through quickly at some of the enterprises managed by women in our villages. You can see the first one are women. Again, this is in Saranda in Timra village, where they are operating a rice hauler. Now, prior to the installation of this hauler, the villagers in Timra and around had to walk for about 14 kilometers, crossing a rivulet to get their rice processed. So this has come as a big boon to the villagers as well as the women's group for whom it is a good income generating activity. The next photo you can see the cooperative society women making puffed rice, or as we commonly know, moody. In Kuchidi village, this is the spice grinding unit, which is again operated by women. And we have got the students of XIT who have come to know more about the women regarding this enterprise.
Sorry to interrupt, madam. Could you please keep it in the slide mode so that the slides are much more visible? I think it will help us to see it even clearly. Just slide mode. On the right hand side corner below.
Is it okay?
No? No, actually not yet in the slide mode.
Dr. Trivedi, she means the slideshow mode.
The slideshow mode
should be on the top of your screen. If you can click on that, slideshow. That will make this much larger, but don't worry too much about it.
If possible.
Otherwise, we will just enlarge our screens. So kindly go ahead.
Yeah, please go ahead, ma'am, then.
Okay. This is a sanitary napkin unit in Musabani, which is operated by the Mahila Sashakti Manch. So this is very, very useful for the rural women who have now got into the practice of using it, because our target was for the first time user women. Now this is one of our first initiatives where we had trained women hand pump mechanics. And this was a project by the government and UNICEF and with NGOs, integrated water and environmental sanitation program. And we had trained 7 of these women job. Is it okay?
It's okay, ma'am. Please go ahead.
And you know, people from all over the world came visiting to witness these women at work. And at one of the very high level visits, which included the country heads of UNICEF and some district magistrates of districts and UNICEF representatives from other countries, they came to see them at work, that is installing India Mark III hand pump. And this took about an hour and a half. And when the process was over, the country head of UNICEF, Mr. Rupert Talbot, he remarked that he had gone all over the world and witnessed such operations. But this is what he said, that I still have to see a state-of-the-art operation of installing hand pumps. It was done with 10% precision. And immediately he said that the entire thing should be documented and made into a short film, which I'm happy to state that this film got an entry into the Chicago Film Festival and it won a certificate of appreciation. Now the next one in Shwaspur Cooperative Society, we gave them a briquette making machine. Actually, this is a startup in Gujarat attempted by some youth whom we have contacted. So organic waste material is mixed with cow dung and then it's pressed by a jack or lever which shapes it into hand palm sized briquettes. And so this is not only environment friendly, so it saves wood and it prevents smoke inside the home. Here you can see our trained women in the process of soil testing. So in some of our villages, we have given the farmers the soil health card, and they tell them the deficiencies about the soil and what needs to be added into it to increase the fertility of soil. This is in the Saranda region again. It is a place, notorious for not having potable water. So the villagers, to a large extent, they drink water from the streams and the rivulets. So though we have tested the samples and we know that water is impure, we lack the resources to set up a water purification unit or a water vending unit. So the testing has not gone further. We have just done it and kept it with ourselves. So coming back to Dr. Mashelkar, who also pioneered Gandhian engineering, more from less for more people, catering to the needs of the poor. He said, I would prize every invention of science made for the benefit for all. Dr. Mashelkar said, what engineering is going to be important in the future? Not mechanical, not electrical, not electronics or civil engineering. It is going to be Gandhian engineering because it combines everything. It needs special attention and focus. Affordability and sustainability were Gandhiji's touchstones over 7.5 decades ago. In the Mumbai, Ambani said that he wants a phone call to cost the same as a postcard. Everyone laughed. Yet today, his ambition and dream has changed the game worldwide. We have the lowest call rates, fastest growing subscriber base, and cheapest mobile handset. And the world is learning from India. Now, those who see the poor only as the consumers of cheap goods miss the richness of knowledge at grassroots level and their potential as provider of ideas and innovations. The grassroots to global model, G2G, that National Innovation Foundation, NIF, is propagating is all set to change the way the world looks at creativity and innovations at from grassroots. The Inspire Awards, Manak, Million Minds Augmenting National Aspiration and Knowledge, was revamped and executed by Department of Science and Technology and National Innovation Foundation, India, to align it with the Action Plan for Startup India initiative launched by the Honorable Prime Minister of India. The scheme invites students from all government and private schools throughout the country and enables them to send their original and creative technological ideas and innovations. During 2019-20, a total of nearly 4 lakh students have submitted their ideas and innovations under the Inspire Awards Manak scheme. Now, nearing the end, I would like to mention about the joint initiatives by SEEDS, NASI, National Academy of Sciences, India, Jharkhand chapter, and NML in 2020. It has been mentioned in the short video which you showed, but I will just do a quick one. A medical camp was conducted in February at the tribal village Kalajor, focusing on the detection of malaria and diarrhea and its cure and prevention. In March, a workshop was organized in Hatnada village to create awareness in very remote tribal villages regarding healthy practices, safe disposal of domestic waste, and low-cost nutrition available locally. A demonstration of TerraFill water filter for domestic use raised good interest from the villages. You can see in the photograph down. And based on the feedback received at the workshop, SEEDS facilitated the supply of 110 numbers of domestic TerraFill water filters in rural homes. These were obtained through CSIR IIMT Bhubaneswar, which was manufactured by CIPIT, the Institute of Plastic Technology. Now, during the lockdown period in April-May, we generated awareness about the do's and don'ts during the pandemic. We made masks and distributed the same in the villages. You can see the glimpses of these. During July-September, we conducted training for nearly 200 migrant workers on systematic dryland farming, horticulture, production of vermicompost, and organic pesticides making. As was already mentioned, on November 1st, as part of PM's campaign against COVID-19, we conducted this campaign in Lovahatu village. The organization advocates for a scientific establishment that is not isolated from society, rather one that uses scientific discoveries to advocate for and advance social justice and critically approach science as a social endeavor. Now, this photo is the last one. The photograph that you are seeing here is of a tribal village boy, Sukhdev Sardar, whom we traced at his home in Potka. In May 2019, the Jharkhand State secondary exam results were published in the local dailies. I read about the topper boy belonging to a very marginalized family and who may be forced to give up his studies due to lack of resources. After some effort, we succeeded in locating his village and his house. A couple of days later, Sukhdev was accompanied to the seeds office in Jamshedpur. We had traced two more similar toppers from Chakulia and Patanda in a similar manner. We were talking to these youngsters about their life, their interests, their future plans, and so on. Sukhdev was the grave one, having a depth in his gaze. When I asked him, Sukhdev, आपको 5 विषयों में से 4 विषय में 100 में 100 अंक प्राप्त हुए हैं और आप साइंस स्ट्रीम को परसू करना चाहते हैं, तो क्या आपके मन में कोई खास उद्देश्य है या कोई लक्ष्य है आपके सामने? With a shine in his eyes and a smile on his face, Sukhdev replied, हाँ, मैं इसरो में साइंटिस्ट बनना चाहता हूँ और मैं समाज के लिए कुछ करना चाहता हूँ. Yes, I want to become a scientist in ISRO and do something for society. I was totally overwhelmed and full of admiration and adoration for this materially poor but the richest one in his aspiration and focus. Undoubtedly, Sukhdev will pursue his dreams and will reach there. In conclusion, I would say that science, the body of knowledge, the methodological practice, and the scientific community, has to be applied to the challenge of developing an environmentally sustainable, humane, and socially equitable global society. In India, the best is yet to come. Aatmanirbhar Bharat is a huge opportunity for all of us to spring into action and work hard towards it. Dear participants, I thank you for your patient listening. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Shukla. It was a pleasure listening.
Yes.
Sorry. It was a pleasure listening to all the inspiring stories you shared with us today. I'm sure they are deeply engraved in our minds in the long run. Thanks for emphasizing on the role of science in shaping the society and vice versa, and the importance of science regardless of educational and financial background of a person. And I'm sure the seeds will continue to do the good work it has been doing since 2 decades in the long run. Thank you very much once again. And we will move on to welcoming our chief guest now. And let me take this opportunity to introduce to all of you the chief guest of the ceremony today, Professor K.K. Shukla, who is the director of National Institute of Technology, Jamshedpur. Dr. Karunesh Kumar Shukla is currently the director of NIT Jamshedpur. He earned his bachelor's degree from Gorakhpur University in 1986 and his ME from Allahabad University in 1988. He completed his doctorate studies from IIT Delhi in 2001. He was a visiting research fellow for the Mechanical and Computer-Aided Engineering Department in Fenchai University, Taichung, Taiwan. He was also a research scholar in Applied Mechanics Department at IIT Delhi for 3 years from 1997 to 2000. Professor Shukla specializes in areas such as composite plates and shells, smart structures, retrofitting and strengthening of RCC structures, computational mechanics, stability and dynamics of structures, and multi-scale composite. Professor Shukla has supervised 13 research scholars. 5 research scholars are currently pursuing the research under his supervision. He has more than 70 research papers to his credit, and he has also authored the book An Introduction to Strength of Materials, which has proved to be of immense help to students nationwide. Without taking any more time, I would like to welcome Professor Shukla, and I would like to request you, to deliver your speech to all of us today. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Saraswati. Good morning to all of you. Dr. Subra Dwivedi, CEO, NGO Seeds. In fact, I was listening to your very nice talk, and I appreciate your concern and your hard work and good work, how you have raised the standards of poor people of the Jharkhand by applying the scientific means. You rightly said that the science has to be applied for the upliftment of the society. While applying the science for the upliftment of the society, it has to be environmentally sustainable also and socially equitable also. You rightly said, madam. So I really appreciate. And Dr. Chattoradji, a dynamic leader of NML Jamshedpur. Dr. Meeta Tarafdarji, other scientists of NML and other organizations. My dear students, young minds who are listening to this curtain raiser program of IISF 2020, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, it's my pleasure to be here online, and I'm thankful to Dr. Chattoraj for giving me this opportunity to share my views on science, technology, and society. In fact, as you have seen the slides and talk of Dr. Subraji, that how we can raise the standard of the people of our country, not only of our country, of the globe, by applying the scientific means while maintaining the ecosystem. So I will take this opportunity to share my thoughts on science, technology, and its use to society. I will give some example of the ancient India where we were. We'll start right from the Gita, and then we'll take to the modern age. So I will begin with with this overview. I will begin with my presentation. What I think that how the science technology can improve the society, or how these, if the science, technology, and society makes a golden triangle, then how it can make India Aatmanirbhar, which is the main theme of this year India International Science Festival, and which is the main goal or main program of our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji. So just to begin with, already Dr. Chattoraj has explained about this IISF history. The purpose which I could see is to demonstrate how science could lead India into towards a developed nation, to engage public with science and technology, and celebrate the joy of science. What Dr. Subra has already shown in our slides, that how to engage the public with science, whether it is the grinding mill or whatever it is, or the water purification, or even she was telling the story of the young mind who scored 100 out of 100 in 4 subjects, and we aspire to become a scientist in ISRO and to solve the problem of real life problem of our society. And finally, to show the ways how science, technology, and engineering provide us with the solution to improve our lives. In fact, that should be the motto of the science and technology, that we need to provide solutions to improve our lives. It's rightly said, and we teach in engineering also, particularly in elasticity, that for every problem there exists a solution. That's what we call existence theorem, that if there is a problem, solution must exist. And that's what is true with the life also, that for every problem, God is kind enough that if you get some problem, he has also given us the solution. So this is the role of we scientists and technologists, to find out the solution of the problems that you can see in this current pandemic situation. We are passing through this COVID-19 pandemic. Though that's why we are not able to sit across the table and see face to face. We are almost all the activities we are doing online, like this curtain raiser program of IISF 2020. So the problem was there. The solution, we found the solution also. In fact, you see our institutions are not stand still. We are running the classes online mode, and we have found the solution to engage the students in online. We are teaching. Now we have almost you can say we have replicate the classroom teaching with online mode, with the help of this internet, camera, and all those things. We are doing it. And in fact, we are also taking the online examination to the help with the help of the science and technology. Online examination, real-time monitoring, even we are doing it. So we are interacting with the students. That's what the solution is there, though the pandemic is there. Similarly, scientists and technologists have found out the solution to combat this deadly virus. In fact, the first-hand solution is that all of us are wearing masks and sanitizing our hands. This is the first-time solution, and there are a lot of research going on the identification, the early detection of this COVID-19 virus, and also to how to combat it with so many vaccines, which I hope and sincerely hope, that this will be available in a short span of time. So coming again, the slogan for this year's IISF is Science for Self-Reliant India and Global Welfare, Aatmanirbhar Bharat, Vishwa Kalyan Cha Vigyan. If you see science, which we call Vigyan, if you decipher this Vigyan, VI, that relates to the, yeah.
Your slides, are you on slide 1 or have you moved on?
I'm slide 2. Move to slide.
We cannot, we are still on slide 1. So, okay. And it's not in slideshow mode right now.
Yeah, so just I will see it. I will check it. Yes. Is it visible now, this slide?
Yes, the second slide is visible, but not in slideshow mode. It's
yeah. I think there is some problem if we are going in slideshow mode. Then okay, we'll see it.
Okay.
Okay. So if you see science, which we called popularly known as Vigyan, I try to decipher it. VI relates to the Vivek, GYA relates to the Gyan, and N relates to the Naveen, newness. So popularly you can say the Vigyan or science is the results through Vivek and Gyan which give birth to the Naveen, newness. So organized Gyan is Vigyan, and the role of the science is to give birth to newness for the betterment of the society. In short, you can say science is a system of acquiring knowledge based on proper methods in order to organize body of language gained through research. Technology is the application of the science. So science and technology work together, hands together, you can see the practical application of scientific knowledge leads to the technology. Precisely speaking, it refers to the tools and machines which may be used to solve the real life world problems. So the mandate for the technologist is to use the scientific knowledge for solving the problem of the human being. That's the real theme of the technology. So technology and science, if you club together, we can solve the problem of the human being. The completeness of science depends on the development of technologies. And technology is definitely dependent on certain particular scientific principles. Okay, so by the dissemination of the technology only, which is based on certain scientific principles, science reaches to the society. So the technology is the ladder between science and society. Whatever the scientific fruits we do in the research to make it scalable, applicable in the real life problem, technology is required. If you see this pyramid, science normally we call it the physical science. You can say physics, chemistry, biology. So all these scientific principles, what we apply, then we use mathematics, because why I'm coming to this mathematics before I go to the engineering or technology, that scientific principles are based on certain experimentations and observations. And those observations or the experimentations can be quantified, can be explained in terms of certain mathematical principles or using certain algebraic or calculus principles. Normally we say that whatever we do, we can write in mathematical language. So you see, any walk of life, we can explain that with the help of mathematics. Be it, you can see, be it share market, be it human behavior, be it blood flowing in our veins, or any or magnetic induction or electric current flow, whatever you call it. These are based on certain scientific principles. We try to explain it in terms of mathematical equations, and we try to solve it, and then we lead it to the technology. We leave it to the engineering or technologists for application to the real life problems. I say the reason is that the cost of experimentation is very high. So for each and everything, we cannot do experiment. If the scientific principles and fundamentals are well known, and we can establish, we can represent the behavior of an system, physical system, with mathematical expressions, then we can try to solve the problem. And normally I say, while I teach, that whatever the problem you see, be it on the solid mechanics side or the fluid mechanics side or the electrical engineering side, we normally say that all the problems clapped together constitute two classes of problems. Either one is the boundary value problem and other is the initial value problems. And if you characterize this boundary value problems and the initial value problems, they turn into some sort of differential equations. The differential equations can be either ordinary differential equations, partial differential equations, the linear, non-linear, uncoupled, coupled, whatsoever, depending upon the complications of the problem or complications of the actual physical problem. So with the help of mathematics and science, the technology can be developed. So this is the golden, you can see the pyramid of showing the science and the technology. And of course, after technology, you can see at the top there is the society. Now, since we are talking about the science, technology, and society, if you take the society, society is derived from the Latin word socius, which means companionship or friendship. Society is, you can say in sociological terms, or in simple sense, it is a large grouping that shares the same geographical territory, shares a common culture, social culture, and expected to abide by some laws. Those laws, again, based on certain experiences and certain scientific principles, these laws can be framed. Now, if we talk about the society, society constitutes of the people, and the ultimate aim or goal of the science, which Dr. Subra was also talking about, the development of our people, which will lead to the developed and civilized society. What are the real development indicators of a people? Average life expectancy, we have to increase, which has increased also, to reduce the infant mortality rate, availability of sanitation, which is now must in during this COVID pandemic, availability of drinking water and its quality, the quantum of living space, access to the medical facilities, literacy, availability of schools and educational facilities, level of skills to cope up with fast changing demands, and so on. So if we are able to address these issues, I have tried to pen down certain issues. If we are able to address these issues with the help of science and technology, then only we can uplift our society and we can say that we are developed. So without major and continuing upliftment of all Indians who exist today and shall be added in years to come, we cannot achieve the developed status. Yeah, with this slide, I try to show the importance of these three. Science, it has the knowledge base. The base of the knowledge comes from the science. Technology, using the scientific knowledge, it makes the tools, and that tools are used for the society to a community of people which has a common goal. This can be make this science, technology, and society cycle. You see that all are clubbed together. Scientific research leads to the technological innovation, and that finally add to certain social values. So the study of how social, political, cultural values affect scientific research and technological innovation, and how these in turn affect society, politics, and culture can be clubbed together as the STS circle. If you go to the ancient India, here I have made some slides to show the importance of science and technological advancement. I have taken some verse from the Bhagavad Gita. If you see this from Bhagavad Gita, verse 4, chapter 7, that Bhumi apo analo vayu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankar itiyam me bhinna prakritastat astadha. What Lord Krishna has said, earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intellect, and ego. Altogether, these 8 constitute my separated material energies. He has talked at that time, during the Gita time, the material energies, which throws light on the mass and energy. And almost the same theory was discovered by Albert Einstein centuries after Bhagavad Gita, what Lord Krishna has recited. Another sloka I have taken from chapter 11, verse 32. Kalo asme lokchayo krit praviddho lokan samahartumiha pravittah rite apitvam na bhavishyanti sarve e avastita pratyanikesh yodha. This sloka was when the Lord Krishna said Arjun was not ready to fight. Then he said this sloka, this one. And the same was again said by Robert Oppenheimer when, after making nuclear bomb, after certain successful experimentation of the nuclear bomb, he recited the same sloka from Bhagavad Gita. This sloka said, I am powerful, time, the source of destruction that comes forth to annihilate the worlds. Even without your participation, the warriors arrayed in the opposing army shall stop existing. This was said by Robert Oppenheimer after successfully experimenting the nuclear bomb. If you see the ancient India, how advanced we are in science and technology, our country gave the idea of zero, decimal system, numeral notations, Fibonacci numbers. Who are working in optimization tools, they might be aware with the Fibonacci numbers. You see the binary numbers, all the computer operations are based on this binary numbers. Theory of atoms, though now it was modified, Chakraval method of algorithms. Heliocentric theory was given by us only, that Earth revolves around the sun. That was slightly modified after that. Smelting of zinc, wood steel with high carbon content, seamless metal globe. Even at that time, plastic surgery was in advanced stage, cataract surgery was in advanced stage. India has given Ayurveda now again, which is gaining popularity during this COVID time. Iron case rockets were there. So many more. I have picked up some. So what Albert Einstein has said, I have quoted, to quote, we owe a lot to the ancient Indians teaching us how to count, without which most modern scientific discoveries would have been impossible. Unquote. Few examples of technological advancement I would like to give, how this has changed the society. That's what I have picked up these examples. If you see James Watt, they use the power of steam to develop a steam engine. And then, of course, railways came into existence for the society, and which has made at least a major tool for transportation. Now, though we have said done away with the steam engine, we are mostly doing with the electrical engine. But this was the beginning, and how it has transformed the society in transportation sector. It has been possible to move even the poor class from one place to the other place. Bayer, he made the synthesis of aspirin. And you can see the worldwide success of aspirin made chemical industry to realize the value of research when converted into a technology. And you know that aspirin is the one of the medicine, well, those who are suffering from some heart disease or the blood pressure, they use this aspirin. Even people says, doctor says during this COVID-19 also, if you take aspirins, this works as the blood thinner and it can work. Albert Einstein's developed E is equal to mc square, which is again relates back to the Bhagavad Gita period. And this particular equation has changed the life of the society in terms of design of thermal and fast reactors, and which in fact led to the power generation for the societal advancement. Another game changer is the development of aircraft by Wright brothers. And now you see that opened the area of aerodynamics. And now this is new normals in transportation industry. And definitely we will see that in coming years, almost all major districts of our country will be connected with air. So this is another example of technological advancement. Maxwell's equation, I tried to find it out, that gave birth to large number of development of large number of electrical gadgets. This is another example of technological advancement with the help of scientific knowledge, which has led to the development of the society or ease of the living. This is the example, the first which was conceived by the Wright brothers, and now the third one, which we are living in particular era. Another example, since this year, this IISF is being organized by CSIR, I tried to pick up this example up from CSIR-CMERI, development of Swaraj tractor. Again, this is an milestone in the field of technological advancement, which changed the era of manual farming to mechanical farming. So in this agriculture sector, with the help of the technology, science and technology, the society has gained a lot. Another is the beryllium ores for making gyroscopes, and setting up that plant in Vasi, Mumbai is an outstanding example of technological advancement by our engineers, led by late C.V. Sundaram. And this BECU alloy have the large application in electronics and nuclear industries. So these are the few examples. There is the, you can say, abundance of these examples. And this shows that how important science and technology is in our day-to-day lives, which relates to the society. So science, in one hand, enhances our knowledge base, whereas technology, on the other hand, improves our living standards. This I try to considering sticking to this talk, that the growth of science and technologies and its impact on the human being or the society. Okay, so the base year I have taken 1998, and from that you can see the different, be it railroads, electricity, telecommunication, aircraft, automobiles and roads, nuclear weapons, energy, computers, mass produced home appliances, lasers, CT scan, internet, which is now the new normal in the present era of communication. Gone are the days of postcard or the inland letters which we were writing when we were students. Now nobody writes postcard or these inland letters. Normally we communicate each other with our dear ones wherever they are sitting, with either in the country or abroad, through internet. And now you can say with the use of this WhatsApp, we have the video calling also. That's almost free of cost. So in today's world, the role of science and technology is indispensable. We need science and technology in every sphere of life. In fact, without technology, which is integrated with science, we cannot imagine our life in today's life. We cannot imagine that we cannot imagine our life without electricity. Nowadays, even whether you go to the rural areas also, people do not think their life without mobile phones. Works can be done easier through high-tech machines and equipments. And there is a certain problem of these also. It gives less work for humans and job can be done faster. It makes human to feel comfortable and easy to live. With the advancement in the research in science and technology, you will find that we are finding continuous progress, and researchers have explored new topics for investigation, such as environment and renewable energy, as Dr. Subra was also talking about. Whatever you do with the help of science and technology, that has to be environmental friendly, sustainable. You cannot play with the environment. If you are going with the, we are going to play with the environment, it will have certain after effects also, which we have to pay. And the society or the human being has to pay heavily. That's what we are paying during this COVID-19 situation. Space science, we are leader now in space science, and electronics. Nowadays we are talking of the stem cell therapy, that some disease, incurable disease, can be cured with the help of stem cells, and so many more. Now if you see the societal affluence based on technological development, few examples I tried to put out. The advancement of science and technology for the benefit of the society. One is the security. CCTV camera, if you install at the various locations, the monitoring can be easy, which was very difficult. Surveillance can be done and crime can be controlled. So that's what it has been possible with the help of the simple example I tried to give those. So because many students, they know about the CCTV camera. So with this advancement in technology, we can reduce the communication gap. People have the information where their near and dear ones are and are just a phone call away. Now, with the help of this camera and all those things, you can program in, and even though you are 100 kilometers away from your home place or workplace, you can monitor with the help of the camera installed at that place who are coming, who are going on, what is happening. Even not only you can record it, the video, you can have the audio also. That's what the surveillance and other things can be controlled with the help of science and technology. With this, you can see the job of the police has become much easier. You can see with the help of the science and technology, particularly in the manufacturing and construction industry, the villages in India, the improvement has taken place a lot in terms of the electricity availability everywhere, road connectivity, and even the medical facilities and essential facilities can be made available at cheaper cost with the help of, again, the science and technology. That's what we can reach out to the remotest place also where the people are living. Now, with the help of these communication tools, we can reach to them. This is some slide I tried to move, tried to make, depicting the different technological advancement, be it aeronautic technology, environmental, manufacturing, nanotechnology, the genetic engineering, which is in, you can say, in the life science technology, energy technology, information, and all other things. This is all again based on the basic research being done, carried out in the laboratory by the scientific people, and actually these are reaching to the society for their benefit. You see one example. This is the example. If you see the below slide, this one, the below picture, this was when people used to live like villages in this, in the houses like this one, mud walls with some aluminum or steel sheet, and to make them stable against wind, they have put the bricks on that. And the upper one, where we are now. Of course, there is a lot of work need to do, but this is how we have moved ahead. So different areas relevant to the society which underwent development with the advancement in science are higher education, agricultural system, space science, nuclear energy program, medical science, which you have seen recently in COVID pandemic, huge development in infrastructure, waste to wealth, zero waste concept we are talking about, information and communication, rural electrification, road, canal for the irrigation, water management and availability of potable water, again, this is a challenge for scientists and technologists to make available the potable water in remotest place. Cleanliness and hygiene, and so many more. And in fact, Government of India is working in a mission mode. With the help of these mission programs, you call it as Swasth Bharat, Swachh Bharat, Sasakt Bharat, Smriddh Bharat, Aatmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India, Skill India. All these are based on our technological advancement using indigenous technology. Since I belong to this area, higher education, I tried to put this examination during this COVID pandemic. What we are doing, online seminars, which we are right now witnessing, presentations, oral examination, classes, virtual labs we are conducting, digital media for interactions. SWAYAM portals are available for the students to learn the subjects through online. This promotes self-learning concepts, availability of e-talks, e-books, so on. So that's how even we have never thought, suppose it would have been 50 years back, that if this situation comes out, that people will be locked in their houses and nobody can reach to anybody. Now, even though with the help of science and technology, that's what I'm trying to justify with this slide, that we are reaching to our students and their semester is running in time. Though it's true that we cannot substitute the face-to-face interaction with the online interaction. But again, I said in the beginning that existence of the solution. If there is a problem, solution must exist. We need to find it out. We can prove it mathematically also. And another theorem is added. If the problem exists, the solution exists. Sorry, the solution has to be unique. So we call it in elasticity existence and uniqueness theorem. That very well works in our life also. So this pandemic, we found out the solution that we will interact our students or will hold the seminars, will hold the conferences and so many on e-platform. E-marketing is taking place and e-business is taking place. So even the life has not stopped. It's moving, but with different normals that we call the new normals in this area. If you see in the agriculture development of medicinal plants, improvement in agricultural equipments, water technologies or water conservation. Now people are talking and doing development of canal, use of remote sensing in agriculture so that we can have the weather forecast and so on, post-harvesting technologies, processing, food processing, agro-food processing is another area. And now this development has taken place in packaging and storage. In development of the warehouses and all those things, packaging is another tool where we can package the perishable items from the foreigners and it can be transported without any problem. Space sector, you can talk of INSAT, EduSat, IRS, IRNSS, YouthSat, and recently Chandrayaan, which is our success story. Nuclear program, power generation with this nuclear, complete nuclear cycles, ore to reprocessing, pressurized heavy water reactors, so on. So with the help of science and technology, we are moving in this nuclear program. This is the example of nuclear power plant. IT and Digital India. This includes broadband highways, mobile access to everyone, public internet, e-governance, net zero imports, two-way communications, social media, IT for jobs. We are talking of the e-Kranti. We are living in 4G. Very soon we'll come to the 5G or 7G. Work is going on 5G, and in India also we will have the 5G very soon. So science and technology has made tremendous contributions in settlement of industries in our country, again, which is leading to the development and upliftment of our society. Without industries, we cannot create the job. And without job, we cannot increase the livelihood of our people, own people. So these are certain examples. We can say that with proud that today Indian technologies and industries are not only in par with other developed nations, but in some areas like space and IT have outsmarted other developed countries. We are the leaders in space and IT technologies. I have tried to give some example for this one. With the help of this one, ultimately the goal is to have the national prosperity. This needs three factors: technology, raw material, and capital. New scientific technologies can make for deficiency on raw materials and reduce the demand on capitals. This is now the need of the hour, because with the help of reducing our raw materials, whatever the reserves we have, it cannot last for long. Ultimately, we have to have the substitute for it, or we can try to devolve certain strategies, scientific and technological tools, so that their use can be reduced. And this is very much required. Now, this figure, if you see this table, I have just taken the 1958 as the base. Suppose the person who is born in 1958, mostly on or after that, that belong to our age. In 1986, they will be around somewhere 29 years. In 2020, they will be somewhere around 61 years. So if you see, right now in our country, not only we have the matured brain, but we have the young brain, who are somewhere in the 20 years or so, in the age group of 20 or 30 years. So we in our country have the largest scientific manpower. In fact, the third largest in the world. So the full benefit of the technology is yet to be utilized for the upliftment of the scientific manpower. Gap in assimilation, which we try to find out, I have tried to find it out, that you can see the gap may be attributed to dissemination of scientific output. Language barrier is one, which now recently NEP 2020 has addressed this problem of the language, because most of our students, those who are residing in rural areas, that Dr. Subra was also talking about, that that student even does not know how to speak a good Hindi. But the people is very good in scientific temperament. So the language barrier should not be there for the development of the scientific temperament. Rural population, how to reach the scientific fruits of the science and technology, and how to inculcate the habits of having the inquisitiveness in our young minds and living in the rural areas. Poverty is another issue, fear of failure. And of course, Indian company, they are averse to adopt the changes, lack of proper ecosystem, and seed capital requirement. These are certain areas. If you see the societal problems in current scenario, so the most of the problems can be categorized into three each, that is energy, environment, and employment. Energy, consumption of energy is very essence of life. Nowadays, all the gadgets which we have is dependent on certain sort of energy. So we have to think of renewable energy, sustainable energy, all those things. We cannot dependent on the fossil fuels, only energy from the fossil fuels. So poverty, health, food, water, scarcity, all could be addressed with the settlement of energy issues. This can be. Environment, we have to think about the sustainable development, so that otherwise what will happen, species will die, and will die species by species if our flora and fauna become extinct. So this is our duty. While doing the scientific development, technological development, we have to save our mother nature also. Employment, using this energy, environment, and scientific development, we have to increase the employment for the rural people, for the urban people. A declining rate of income and replacement of humans with technology are the results of technology-driven innovation, in lieu of job-driven innovations. So economic progress is also not translating well into progress for all. Solutions for these problems. One solution, we can think of the development of eco-friendly technology, human-friendly technology, where technology is in the essence of solutions of any of our big problems. It ought to be robust and also stand the test of time. Another solution lies with the policy, with adequate government support, with the bold policy. Social engagement, like the NGOs, which is being added by Dr. Subra, like that. Involvement of people at large will push the government in making policy, which is good for the society. We have to think of the economic model, maybe Gandhian or whatever. So Only a solution that makes economic sense to all stakeholders involved will survive. So these are the 4 verticals in step with each other for finding the solution. Moving further, affordability is another problem. The most problem for the technologist is the scalability. We do research in lab, but whether we have to think whether these research are scalable or not, we have to see it. Sustainability, universality, rapidity, excellence, these are the certain solutions which we have to think upon. So as quoted by Dr. Maselkar, that for any technological innovation, failure is assured if assured test fails. So if you see the story of Apple to Amazon or whatever it is, they have moved from failure to the success. But those who have not changed or learned from their failure, they have lost their journey. So summarizing this, you see the 3 pillars: society, innovators, and government clubbed together will lead to the technological innovations, and that will lead to the solution of the problems of the society, that is energy, environment, and employment. For this, we have to pass through all the technology readiness level. We call it the technology TRLs. I have just listed down the TRL for the, I'm running short of time, so I'm moving ahead. European Union has defined the TRL in the 9 steps. In India, mostly what I have found that up to TRL 4, we are very good. Technology is validated in lab. But technology validated beyond lab in the real life environment or in relevant environment, we lack somewhere. So unless until we move beyond TRL 4, the development, the fruits of science and technology cannot reach to the society. So this is the goal. This should be the goal for all the academic institutions or the research organizations, to define their TRL so that they are moving beyond TRL 4. Finally, we conclude that we have made these 3 Punyatmas, Punyadhikaris, Punyanetas. In our country, there exist many unsung heroes, heroines, scientists and specialists who are putting science into use against heavy odds, sacrificing their own comforts for many years. They are Punyatmas. So what you people are doing at the NML, some Saithpur doing research, I was fortunate enough to visit your lab, and you are doing some marvelous research. So I coin these scientists and researchers and technologies who are putting their comfort into laboratories. They have forget their comfort level, and they are working day and night hard to find out certain scientific solutions, to develop certain new theories. We can call them Punyatmas. Then comes many persons at various levels in administrations who help these Punyatmas to realize their visions. They can be called as Punyadhikaris. And after this Punyatmas, the scientists you are, the Punyadhikaris, the administration sitting in the top of these scientific organizations, and finally, the decisions makers in legislative are honestly and tirelessly standing behind these souls as an enablers. So those who are standing behind this Punyatmas and Punyadhikaris, we can call them as Punyanetas. So if you make a golden triangle of Punyanetas, Punyatmas, the top I have kept the Punyatmas, the scientists, those who are really putting their hard work in the laboratories. If they synergize in form of this golden triangle with Punyadhikaris and Punyanetas, then definitely we can move forward. We can move forward, and we can provide the fruits of science and technology to the common people. But this has to be done in a mission mode. We need to make this golden triangle of Punyatmas, Punyadhikaris, and Punyanetas work countrywide to synergize these efforts in mission mode. At the last, then only what we say, which is the ethos of our Indian culture, that Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pasyantu, ma kasyat dukbhag bhavet. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Then only we can reach what has been envisioned long back, that Sarve bhavantu sukhina, sabhi sukhi rahe, sarve shantu niramaya, sabhi nirogi rahe, sarve bhadrani pasyantu, sabhi अच्छे दिखें, स्वस्थ रहें, माँ कश्चित दुख भाग भवेत, कहीं दुख भी ना हो. If we make this golden triangle of scientist, administrator, and our political people synergize together, then only we can reach to this goal, which should be the ultimate goal for science and technology. Thank you. I am open to any queries, please.
Thank you very much, sir. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
Am I?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. It was a pleasure listening to you, sir. Thanks for sharing the science and technological advancements connecting the past and the future, and especially how we developed ourselves technologically in the pandemic situation. As we come close to the end of our ceremony today, the Curtain Raiser IISF 2020, I would like to request Dr. Meeta Tarafdar to kindly deliver the vote of thanks to the chief guest, the guest of honor, and those who are present today. Thank you. May I request Dr. Meeta Tarafdar?
Thank you, Shashwati. It is really an excellent talk. And on behalf of CSIR-NML, I would like to express our gratitude to our chief guest, Professor K.K. Shukla, Director, NIT, Jamshedpur, for accepting our invitation to deliver this lecture, especially on the theme of today's function. And it is always a pleasure, sir, listening to you. And but we would be definitely inspired, and definitely the participants who are attending this function, they will be inspired, and we will definitely try to inculcate the scientific temperament in the community. And we look forward to have many scientific solutions and for achieving the global goals that is there in front of all of us. And I'm thankful to Dr. Shubhra Dwivedi for being our guest of honor and delivering the speech on science for inclusive development. It is so much required, this inclusive development, and how science can be implemented for this developmental process. And I'm really happy that CSIR-NML is connected to your work through NACI. And I know you for a long time, and I see how you are making a great change in rural India. And in fact, personally, I visited some of the rural Jharkhand area where you are implementing many projects and programs. And I like the solar mom concept. And this is an excellent idea, and we would like to see that it is being implemented in Jharkhand too. And we are thankful to our director, Dr. Indranil Chattaraj, for his guidance and support for organizing this program successfully. Under your mentorship, sir, I'm sure we'll be able to utilize scientific knowledge and innovation for the benefit of the common masses. We are thankful to the organizing team, especially our MC, Shashwati, IT team, and our young colleagues who are offering background support. Thanks to the press and media who will be covering that event. And finally, I thank all the participants of this online event. Many of you are connected through YouTube and Facebook. thanks for joining this event. And we look forward to your participation in IISF 2020, which is going to be held in this month. And please join there, and please join again in future in NMS program. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much, madam. Thanks to our chief guest and the guest of honor once again as we close down the ceremony. Thanks for all of your time and attention, and the promise from CSIR-NML to continue socially in the rural areas. I hope it will continue in the near future. With this, we come to an end. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I request the chief guest and the guest of honor to switch on the video so that we can have a collective photograph? I think they are all switched on. So, Meeta, can you organize a collective? Yeah, correct. This is the vision.
Yes, sir. Can you just say again what you want me to do?
Yes, we want a collective photograph.
Oh yeah, right. That is very much required. So may I request all of you who are there to switch on their video?
The guests of honor and
guests of honors and chief guest.
I think they are switched on. So you can take.
Yeah, no, guest of honor and chief guest are switched on, and all the team members, and they can also come. So in my screen I can see Dr. Shubhra and Professor Shukla. They are visible. So please, may I request my team to take photographs? Just let me see. Let me see if I can take the picture. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Possibly the photograph has been taken. Thank you.
Professor Shukla, Professor Dwivedi, really an honor to have you here. I hope to keep interacting with you. We will keep interacting. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Shukla, Dr. Chaturaj, Meeta and Sashmita. It was a lovely program and we stuck to the time precisely.
Yes, I can see it's 101.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have a good day, all of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.